It's Aaron, the metal theologian. This might be a little loud here. It's really good though. It's El Dragon, which is another band from Argentina. And I might as well bust this out because I don't know what the fuck else I'm going to talk about. Yeah, I think this only came out on tape, like, originally. But, I could be wrong about that. Yeah, anyway, this is a DSE Red pressing. It's a label out of, God, I want to say Brazil. But I don't know, man, there's a bunch of good shit, so. Yeah, it's a Brazilian address, so. Yeah, it's this thing, too. It's kind of awesome, man. Latin America classics. Right on. Yeah, it's gonna be a low-key video, man. Got my hair looking like George Washington's fucking. Yeah, I have like a few ideas for videos that I've had, but just haven't been feeling it. Someone asked me to do a video about Chicago bands a while back. I wish I could remember who it was, but as it turns out, I was gonna do one, but like, yeah, fuck it, you know, so maybe I'll just make this one a Chicago one. Fuck it, let's do it. Because I pulled out a bunch of records, right? I just have to fucking find them here because I wasn't exactly planning. Fuck. Alright, well this is the one that was sort of the impetus, which is the Hammer-On record. Which is pretty poppy, really. But it's a cool record, man. I just like this. I mean, I kind of like the cheesy songs best. Like, the rockin' songs are actually really good. Like Silent Victim or the title track, Nothing to Do But Rock. And like Why Lie is super cheesy. But I like that one just as much as Sands of Fire, which is a lot less cheesy. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That's just how it is. There's another one I've shown before. This is To The Point by Ironhawk. Yeah, and this is from 83 on Chrome. This is kind of has some AOR-y moves too, but it's not so AOR that I can't handle it. And I have a pretty weak stomach when it comes to that shit. So, take it to me, this Ironhawk record is pretty damn good. In fact, it's one of those records too that gets better with each listen too. So, when I got it, I thought it was pretty damn good. And then, like, over time, actually, it's a better story than that. I got a copy of it once upon a time. There's a story as far as that goes too, but I got a copy of it. I didn't think it was that great. So there's a guy in Greece who offered me a Zen Venom from Another Planet in trade for it. And I was like, well, shit, man. I know this is a pretty badass record as far as rarity goes. But in the U.S., I'm probably going to have an easier time finding another Ironhawk than I am another fucking Zen Venom, which is an Australian band. And I was right, because I've actually only seen the one Zen Venom record, the one that I have, but I did find another Ironhawk, so it's all possible, man. Just gotta persevere. Here's another kind of classic, sort of glammy one. I mean, look at that, man. They're called Decoy Paris. Of course it's kind of glammy, right? These guys all kind of suck for mustaches, too, except for this dude. His mustache is kind of happening. I actually exchanged a few emails with him once upon a time, but I don't remember why, because it's not like I was going to reissue the record, and I already had a copy at that point, so I think. I know I didn't get this from him, though. Anyway, so those scarves kind of, you know, they give you ideas to what you're in for, but the songs are really good on this record, man. It's like 5 and then one little sort of bogus instrumental at the end, and, you know, it's not like the greatest thing of all time, but it's a cool record. Alright, so that was a few Chicago ones. I was gonna see if I can find some more. Yeah, see, fucking... So I have this one because it's an Ironworks one, but it's right next to this fucking Axe Minister record and Jag Panzer. Because I was thinking about doing like another Ironworks video. I did one a long time ago. Oh yeah, and the fucking Axe Minister, you know. I did an Ironworks, Metal Storm, all that shit video like a long time ago. It was when I was really, it was one of my earliest videos, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, well, actually, someone's been going back and watching those old videos, but they tend to get sort of forgotten, Anyway, someone turned me on to this in the comments, okay, and this record's surprisingly cheap, so I went for it. It's Devastation Run, and it's 4 tracks. It's on Ironworks, so it's already cool just for that, But it's pretty rockin'. Like, at least there's definitely, these guys have a soft side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to say it's AOR-y, but I feel like that might be a little bit too much. But sort of heading in that direction again. Sort of like, who did I say a minute ago? Oh, Ironhawk, yeah. That's actually pretty good comparison. Except when these guys are rocking, they're really heavier than anything Ironhawk ever did. But when these guys are kind of soft, they're a little bit wimpier than Ironhawk. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But, I paid $20 for this thing, man. It's totally worth it. What a fucking cool piece, this basically all but private press from some nobody band. Shit, man, that's the sort of thing I just love, Yeah, what else do we have? Oh, this is one I just played recently that's, I think, is underrated. This, Upper Echelon record, I want to say they're from Seattle. The address is Seattle. Anyway, it's a 4-piece band, 4 songs. This fucking record is great. And people don't really seem to talk about it very much. Like, I've never seen any of these labels, like, talk about reissuing it, like the No Remorse or High Roll or anything like that. And, it has that, like, super primitive, like, private press look. Also, like, there's very high quality mustache. But, yeah, it's just fucking cool, man. Anyway, I'm looking for my Chicago ones. Alright, here's some more Chicago stuff. Yeah, something that's funny, after I talked to someone about Chosen Fate on the last video too, and I thought the guy was like kind of waily, so I started busting out stuff with other singers, and I was thinking about doing a band like that too, like singers that are like a little bit annoying. So yeah, I have like these out because of that, But anyway, those are both awesome records. But we're gonna stay with Chicago, okay? So here's the Winterhawk record. All right, it's 1982. It's kind of a hard rocky record. This is really like legit, like a metal record with a foot pretty firmly still in the 70s, sort of like the first Manila Road or something like that, maybe. Not necessarily as proggy as Manila Road, but just a very cool record. A little bit of a creeper. I didn't love this the first time I heard it, but like the third time I heard it, I fucking loved it. So, it's one of those. It's been reissued once or twice. Some stickers from the reissue. Actually, this came from Rockadrome, so he always throws stickers into shit. So, alright, here's another Chicago one. This is a lot heavier. Someone spotted this in the background of it in a previous video, so... But yeah, Tyrants Reign. It's funny, in my head this record's always thrashier than it really is, because even though the song Tyrants Reign is pretty fast, and Reign of Terror is like kind of thrash, the other songs really are a lot more sort of mid-paced than that. So, yeah, it's funny. Like I said, in my head this is a total thrash record, but it's really not. It's probably no thrashier than, say, Raven Bitch, and, I don't know. I think I do like Raven Bitch more than this, but this is a fucking hell of a record. And actually, hang on. Yeah, there's the cool label. But, this one had a business card from like their agent or something when I got it. And I think it's still in there. It has this little insert too, by the way. You can get a t-shirt. Look at that shit. Oh yeah, but check this out. It's not really a business card, but this was on the back. that focusing at all? Yeah, Out of the Cellar Management, Chicago, Artists Representative, Patricia L. Burchick. Right there. So Patricia, why the fuck did Tyrants Reign not get signed? I don't know. You know, in terms of their legacy, I look at a record like this, which is just so good. And, in a way, it's kind of better. You know, if they had gotten signed, you know, if they'd done like a Q5, they made this great record, and then they went on a label and kind of went soft, or just weren't as good, that'd be kind of disappointing, you know? So it's sort of like, whatever. Just take it as it is. Isn't this weird, man? This is from fucking, like, 1990 or something like that, this record. And it's that keyboard heavy? But I guess that's what happens when you go all the way to Argentina, you know? This sounds fucking fantastic anyway, so I'm not complaining. Man, the other thing I've been kind of obsessed with lately is really heavy-handed Jesus metal. Like, you know, like I've been listening to like Barren Cross and shit like that. In fact, I got their second record. I'd never had that before. And, yeah, Scott told me it was better than the first one. Scott Waters, to whom I hope you're all subscribed. Anyway, it actually is better, but the thing is, I kind of wanted it to be a little shittier. You know what I mean? It's like the second one is actually like a fucking really like honest to God metal record. You know? And I kind of want a little bit more of that sort of like cheeseball shit, like, what's that song called? The Give Your Life to Jesus song and that sort of thing. So, yeah, so all that the way of saying, where is it? It's in here somewhere. God, I'm in such a fucking mess. Looking for Chicago records. I think this was one of them. Addison, Illinois. Is Unleashed. Now, this record's actually great. I just like a cool, like, metal record. You know? Private pressed, and it's not very expensive. People don't really seem to be hip to it. But it's just like an awesome fucking rocker. 4 tracks, and they're all great. And actually, this one came with a press kit, too, and I got it. Something about having bought a lot of this shit in LA. You know? Yeah, you see that? It's actually not even opened. There's their promotion company, presumably. That's still sealed. So I don't know, like one of these days, I'd probably make a video or something and open it up. But it seems like one of these days it's got to happen. Yeah, I paid like nothing for this record too, man. But I got it a long time ago. It used to piss me off when people said that to me, but now the shoe's on the other foot, what can I say? Anyway, this record's fucking fantastic. Like, if you get one record on the strength of this video that you otherwise probably would never have heard of, Upper Echelon, but the second one should be Unleashed. Now, this is another great one, but it gets a little bit more hype. Not as much as some bands, though. Like, Winterhawk gets tons of hype. Ivory Tiger, they're actually from Lake Zurich, Illinois. I don't know where that is. The label's in Chicago, though, so maybe I'm cheating a little bit, but we'll call it Chicago. I gotta love the pencil drawing where they're hanging out with the tiger. This record's great, though. I mean, look at that. Okay, it basically lives up to that. It's probably a little bit more straightforward and a little bit less epic than that. But pure metal, man. And it has that fucking, like, metal sound that makes your heart sort of sing and, you know, makes you feel all warm inside. This is one of my all-time favorites. This, if I had to pick one from Chicago, it'd probably be Slaughter Destroy Us. I fucking love this record. Super proggy. The singer is really unusual. He sounds sort of 70s, really, even though this record's like 86 or something, 85. But yeah, every song is great. Every song rocks. They have all sorts of parts. Like, you can listen to this record over and over and keep hearing new shit. And they never got a fucking deal, man. It's just this obscure-ass private pressing. Yeah, there's a reissue that came out a few years ago, and they actually just said motherfucker on that one instead of that. But yeah, it's fucking absolute classic right there. Okay, I'll tell you right now, I do not have an original of this one, okay? The Paradox Plan of Attack. So I'm making do with this guy, which is like a fucking bootleg. I got it from someone in Greece. But it's probably a Greek boot, realistically, just because that kind of comes out. But it like has a textured cover and shit. Like, they did a really nice job. And it's funny, because side 1 is the EP and the songs off the comps, and then side 2 is like from a reunion show in like 2013. So, anyway, though, it's sort of a, you know, famous in like hardcore collector circles. That's sort of the one that nobody has. Contrast with this one, which also not many people have, but I don't think many people care about. And this is no mustaches, but that kick kind of gets some points too, you know. Yeah, infrared isn't bad, but here's the thing about infrared. See this cover, and it's all like thick. You see, it's like one of those old tip-on sleeves. You know, the fucking heavy-ass cardboard jacket. Like that super private looking label. You want this record to just be awesome. Yeah, it's just kind of not. You know? Maybe it'll grow on me. I mean, it's still sitting here because I want to like listen to it some more, but I want to absolutely love this record and I just kind of don't, you know? I mean, it's cool. You know? Like, if you're at a friend's house and someone puts on infrared, you're going to go, yeah, this is pretty good. You know what I mean? But afterwards, you're not going to remember any of the songs. That's really the problem with it, you know what I mean? The sound is fine and all that as I remember it, but I played it like 2 or 3 times and I can't remember a fucking thing about it, so. Alright, that might be all the Chicago that I kind of had just sitting here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah, I actually have to listen to this one yet, but this one's from, what? Yeah, Chicago. This is a really early one, too. This is like 80. It says all songs 1979, 81, or 82, so this appears to be a band that started in the 70s and didn't get a record out until 82-ish, maybe 83. I don't know what they sound like, though, so here, I'll just put it on for a fucking minute. Since this thing's conveniently ended. Look at that. And if I weren't like making a video, I might never put this Saint record on because it just looks kind of bad, you know? I tend to be a little more susceptible to that than I like to admit, you know? The record looks really shitty, it's kind of hard to love it. And there are tons of stories like that too, like that fucking Numbskull record that I probably raved about a few times. I passed on that band for years and years and years just because, where did I put the fuck? I'll find it later. Oh yeah, I passed on that thing for years and years just because the name was so bad. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't hack it. And then eventually, I came to my senses. Alright. Fire up that Saint record for a minute. It's funny how like I kind of picked the crappiest of the lot, or the one that I expect the least of, I should say. And that's what I'm going to play, but that's how we're going to do this. Ivory Tiger's been reissued not too long ago, so you should have that anyway, even if you couldn't find an original. Yeah, look at that, man. This should be great. But I didn't love it when I played it, so let's see how it is there. Maybe like something clicked in my head, and now I'm going to think Saint is awesome. There are new reissues of the Jesus Metal Saint band coming too, by the way. Their first 2 full-length records. If you don't have those, you should probably snap them up. Ugh. Yeah. God, I got this one. It's kind of hard rocky, as I recall, and just not very ballsy, you know what I mean? And this kind of reminds me of the Knack for some reason right now. Not great, you know? Yeah, speaking of shit that's not great, this is actually great. This is Fantasy by Mental Powers, and just like, feast your eyes on that cover. Now look at how corny these guys are. Okay? You can kind of tell that they were the ones who made this record. It's like, someone wrote a great metal record, and then gave it to these guys to perform. And so they put all this like weird shit in there. Like these long, like weird instrumental passages and like piano and shit. Like it's like this record seems to forget it's a metal record from time to time, but then when it's going, it's pretty solid. You know what I mean? As Greek metal records go, this sounds so shitty to say, but there are not a lot of Greek bands that I particularly like. But I really like this Mental Powers record. Yeah. And actually, this is going to be for a video on like records that are weird. So this record really sucks. I'm going to bump this ahead and see if it gets any better. If not, I'll put on something a little bit more decent. Yeah, I don't hate this, but like that previous song just like colored my impression of this, you know? I really don't like the singer either. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not great. You know what else is not great? This. Like I said, I just went to really heavy-handed Jesus. Like, the songs like, Who Will You Follow? Enough is Enough. He Is the Rock. Looking for a Reason. Yeah, this is the kind of record I was, like, specifically seeking out. But this one is really... Okay, see how corny those guys are? Yeah, that's what the record sounds like, man. This is really like a glam thing. It was really just too much. You know, the other thing is I pulled out my copy of the Soldiers Under Command by Stryper. That record fucking sucks, man. Like, one song is good, but then it's just like so cheesy. I just couldn't take it. I was wanting to hear cheesy shit. Yeah, look, I pulled this out too. It's like the raw versions of most of the cheesiest songs, really, that made it to the LP. But White Cross was just a little bit too, like, I don't know, Tiger Tales for me. I don't know, I'm going to listen to it again before I put it away, though, because I might, you never know. I feel like I've shown like 10,000 records in this video. Yeah, the Leviticus record, Bride, Light Force, and of course Messiah. Yeah, that's all my Chicago shit though. So, I pulled out this little gem too. Check this out. These first couple Petra records are kind of rocking, but they're really cheesy. It's like they're as cheesy as the 80s records. They're just like a little bit more rocking, you know? So like, I don't know, I mean, I don't hate Petra, but they're not like, oh, I don't know. I don't like This Means War and like all those later records, Beat the System and shit like that, the ones that are just kind of like 80s pop. But the first two I can kind of get behind, you know? Like I said, it's super cheesy. Lots of corny parts. You know, okay, you should get the first two Petra records if and only if you bought a copy of Crazy Horses by the Osmonds because you heard the song was heavy and great, and it is. But if you can listen to that whole record and enjoy all the cheesy songs on that, then you probably really dig the first two Petras. Okay? And if you don't know that Osmonds record, this sounds like a much more scathing criticism than it actually is. Because that Osmonds record, fucking listen to Crazy Horses by the Osmonds if you don't know it. You need to. Fucking some thrash band did a cover of that song. I can't remember who it was now. Yeah, this sucks, man. God, what a piece of shit. Fucking hell, why do I keep this shit around? I don't know, you know, I always think when people are selling their, like one of the horror stories you hear about people starting record stores, they use their own collection and then basically sell their shit and like they aren't able to get new stuff in, so the store goes under, and you know, they don't have the records anymore either. Like if you're gonna be careful doing that, which is what you want to do, then what that would mean for me is that if I see what the records show, and you're selling like obscure metal records, that they probably suck because you kept the good ones for yourself. Maybe that's why that Militia record never turns up, except for when I show it. Yeah, here I'm going to show one more. That's this Dark Age record. I was talking about this when I was on someone else's chat. God, I can't remember the fucking thing. My memory's like a sieve. But yeah, we were talking about old metal shit, and I was talking about a band called Dark Ages, that medieval sorcery one, because it's such a fucking weird record. And someone mentioned, someone was talking about Dark Age, and they actually were talking about an Italian band called Dark Age, or Dark Ages, I don't even remember, but I thought he was talking about this one, so I ended up busting it out. And this record, man, this is another underrated one. Okay, so in this video, I've shown, like, 3 private pressings that, like, are not that hard to come across, and are kind of underrated. You can probably get them all for, I don't like to talk about money, but you can probably get any of them for less than $30. Just play your cards right and be willing to compromise a tad on condition, you know. If you want to spend $100 on that Dark Age record, I'm sure you can find someone who'd be happy to sell you one for that, but you don't need to. Showing this one just for Mr. Giwi, who featured Praying Mantis in a recent video. I really like that 45, and I didn't realize how good it was. And what am I going to put on for a minute? As a little sort of outro. It's not going to be Ironhawk, because everyone knows that record now. I'll put on Ivory Tiger. No, I'll put on fucking Upper Echelon. Here we go. We're going to listen to a minute of Upper Echelon. I'll laugh so fucking hard if I get ads put on this video. Look at that. This is one of the first, like, private pressings I ever bought, actually. It sort of whet my appetite. Yeah, this record rocks, and the songwriting is good. The production is great. Listen to that, man. This driving mean. I kind of love 8.5 by 11 inserts too. It's an unusual little flourish there. Yeah, Surface Tension by Upper Echelon. It's way more special than it looks. Alright. Well, I think that's about enough. I'm out of shit to say. Of course, I didn't have anything to say to start with, and I didn't stop there, right? Thanks for watching.